Hello again, I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to Big Bud Farm. So, we're going to be adding in a bit of extra bits and bobs today. You can see I've got a nice little bit of cash in the top right corner there. I have done some off-contract work, off-camera contract work, as I should say. And we're going to be buying a couple of new things for the farm today. We're going to be getting a Big X 580, and we're also going to be getting a mowing header to go with it, the X disc header. There we go, the 620. And we need a trailer as well, which is why I've got Big Bud here. It's not a new one, I'm not sending one. I brought it around to collect this trailer here. So we're going to use this Penta DB DB50. There we go. So obviously if we go to our map, we have fields that are waiting to be harvested, but the weather is saying no, not going to happen. So until the rain stops, or the hail stops, we're going to be working on this grass patch that we have up here. Now it's not showing up under fertilization yet because it hasn't been fertilized. So what I am going to do, just to give us a little bit of an extra yield, is we need a weeder going forward as a long-term thing, and we're going to need a small tractor to run it. So we need a 95 horsepower tractor that has care wheels. Now there aren't that many out there really that are going to be that suitable. I don't want to have a major brand like a Case or a Fendt or a New Holland. I might go with Valtra. Valtra is a brand that we haven't used before, but again, I don't know whether that really kind of fits in with the Big Bud. It's not very American-y. But at the same time, the Valtra is completely customizable color-wise, so we may end up going for a Valtra N. Because these are really quite useful. 145 horsepower more than covers what we need. Way more than covers what we need. And obviously with the wheel options, we can go wide, we can go narrow, or just standard. That's probably what I'm going to get, is one of those, just so I can use that for running a weeder. But we can't do that just yet, we just don't have the money for that. So let's get the trailer moved over to the field. There we go. It's a cracking mod, this Penta trailer. Really nicely put together. Really works really well. Beautifully made, and looks just like the real thing. Looks absolutely fantastic. I haven't had any issues working with it either when I've used it on private farms. Just been waiting for an excuse to find the right farm to put it onto for a Let's Play channel. So this is its shining moment, its opportunity to break through onto the channel. So yeah, speaking of mods, yesterday we had a sudden flurry of activity on the mod hub. Everyone has been, obviously getting a little impatient on the console side, wondering where's the mods, why we haven't got any mods, it's been ages, blah 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 blah. And obviously, I've already discussed, the reasons why nothing was being tested. And then at the beginning of the week, mods started going into testing, and as the week went on and nothing was being released, people started getting impatient again. It's unfortunately the nature of the beast that I think players have become so accustomed to having mods now that they just expect them all the time, and it's not the attitude that we should have, but it is unfortunately the attitude that a lot of people out there do have, and this doesn't apply just to console players, it does apply to PC players as well, but obviously you tend to hear more about it with with the console players, because there are so many PC mods that are constantly being drip fed out on a daily basis. It's less of an issue. But yesterday I finished recording Fent Farm around about 10:30 in the morning, and I thought just before I log the game off, and I'll do a quick check just to see if there's any mods. There won't be. It's too early in the morning. Mods in the UK usually tend to drop. Well, they drop at the same time as they do everywhere else, but obviously the time of day is different depending on whereabouts in the world you are. But 10:30 in the morning is early for mods. Very, very early. Normally, when a mod goes live, it's usually somewhere around 1 to 2 in the afternoon here in the UK when a mod will go live. That's the usual kind of window when a mod drops. Sometimes they drop a little bit earlier, sometimes they drop a little bit later, but that's generally the kind of average time that a mod will go live, somewhere between sort of midday to 2 o'clock, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's that kind of usual release window. 10:30 in the morning, I checked just out of mild curiosity, and the mods were there, and I was amazed to see them there that early in the morning. So that was fantastic. So I immediately downloaded Smoky Mountain logging, did a test on that, a little map tour, which is available to view on the channel. Do check that out if you haven't already done so. I'll link it in the description as well for you. And on top of that, we also had the Biobelt's back crane, which I will talk about in a moment. We also had the Bromar mother bin, fantastic 185,000 litre mother bin. It's going to be awesome for multiplayer, less useful in single player, but still very useful. Well, again, it depends on whether you want to be authentic with the way you play, or if you just want to kind of go crazy and do your own thing. If you want to go crazy and do your own thing, then 185,000 litre mother bin suddenly becomes 185,000 litre grain transport. And if you have 3 or 4 of them all feeding into the one at the front, then you basically can sell 1 million litres or so of grain in one go as a single delivery, by feeding one into the one in front, 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 and so on and so forth. You can just sell essentially an unlimited supply. However much grain you've got to sell, you can sell it all in one go, depending on how many mother bins you have. I won't be doing that. That's a little controversial. It's very unrealistic. There is a great little video out there that Kangaroo put together. I think it's Kangaroo America is the name of the company. They obviously make mother bins. They put out a little 3-minute video or so called "What is a Mother Bin?" and it shows the process between behind how a mother bin is deployed and works. So how they are deployed as a sort of a stopping point between, or sort of like a buffer point between the chaser bins and the trucks, so that trucks aren't chaser bins don't sit there waiting for a truck to pull up, which slows down how quickly they can get back to the combine, which means the combine sometimes has to sit and wait to be emptied before it can continue harvesting. To get around that, a lot of people in the past have just hired more trucks, and obviously that gets very expensive. The mother bin theory is that if you have the mother bin there with 185,000 litre capacity, then you just park up to the mother bin, empty your auger into the mother bin, or you chase it into the mother bin, and your trucks can come along and pick up from the mother bin. Go. So I'm just getting that in position. Your trucks can pick up from the mother bin. Why isn't he unloading? Did I not hire a worker? There we go. That's got him. Yeah, you drop into your mother bin, and then you just go straight back to your combine. So there's no waiting on the combines in. That keeps being able to keep running and keep running and keep running. And because it has such a large capacity, You know, there can be afford to be a delay between the truck getting there, you know, between the auger getting there and emptying and the truck getting there and taking that grain back. You've got a nice big high capacity storage buffer sitting in the middle that is portable enough to move around on the field, so you can change the deployment point effectively, so you can always stay closer to the combine. You can reduce the distance that your trucks have to drive onto the field. You can change the point where your trucks meet your grain deployments and so on and so forth. Very useful little thing in real life. When I say little, they're big. They're very big, these mother bins. But yeah, that's essentially what mother bins are for. A lot of people haven't really seen them. They are, you know, kind of a newer thing. But they also eliminate the need for quite so many trucks because you have this huge storage capacity as well. So that's a mother bin. That's what they're for. Do check out the video "What is a Mother Bin" by Kangaroo, or just go onto their website and it's linked on there. And it's a really good little video. So it's only about 2 or 3 minutes long, but really clever little way of actually showing you exactly what a mother bin does and what it's for. What else did we get? We also got the front loader tools, a pair of new tools for front loaders with a bucket and a bale fork, both with a new version and an old rusted version. Looks really nice. Haven't used those yet. On top of that, we also got the Smith bale trailer. CD Models comes back with a really nice another mod. You know, we had his trailers the other day, a couple of weeks ago. The grain trailer / silage trailer, beautiful model. Now we have his 32-foot bale trailer as well. Really nicely put together, really nicely made mod. Smoky Mountain login, obviously we got that, and we also got an update for Oldstream, which caused some confusion for quite a few people because it states in the patch notes added support for seasons. Obviously the patch notes are shared between the PC and the console, so while the seasons support applies to the PC version, it does not apply to consoles because we don't have, and for the foreseeable future at least, will not be getting seasons. So that caused a lot of confusion. Everyone's like, suddenly got excited. Are we getting seasons? Are we getting seasons? No, is the answer, basically. And then an extra mod was kind of snuck in there that nobody really knew much about, that, you know, because they hadn't seen it pop up in the testing thread. There was an update for Hagenstedt to finally fix the issue with the broken sell point at the freight yards, and also a couple of other little bits and bobs of work. I think, if I remember reading rightly, a workshop has been added at the main farm as well, although I think that needs a new save to be able to get that. And the nugget at the dairy, the one that sat on top of that ridiculously tall dairy tower, that has now been relocated as well. So that map should now be pretty much fully operational. I don't know if there are any other bugs on that that are still waiting to be addressed. I think that one's pretty much done now. So that's now available for consideration for maybe being used as a Let's Play in the future. So I said I'd talk about it later. The BioBelt's back grain has caused all sorts of problems. Nobody seems to be able to install it for whatever reason. It doesn't complete when you download it. It sits at 100%, doesn't actually install. And we had this issue pop up with Sandy Bay. When that first went live, a lot of people weren't able to download it, but there were a lot of people who were able to download it, and very quickly after it was released, we started seeing screenshots of people using it. Okay, sorry about that. I had a little bit of a coughing fit, just suddenly hit me out of nowhere there. Where was I forgot what I was talking about now. Oh yes, when Sandy Bay went live, a lot of people really struggled to download it, myself included. It took me over 6 hours to get that map installed when it first went live. But a lot of people were able to install it, and we started seeing people posting screenshots almost immediately. As far as I can tell, nobody has been able to download this log and claw yet. I mean, nobody. I haven't seen a single screenshot posted anywhere in any of the groups that I'm in yet of someone actually using that claw. So, best I can tell is that that map that is bugged somehow on the download system. For whatever reason, it just will not install for anybody. So Giants themselves are going to have to readdress that and resolve that issue, and that won't happen now till Monday, because obviously being a weekend, they won't be in the office. Actually, we've done our headland, haven't we? So we're back on the up and downs. I didn't have to actually stop him there. Never mind. Alright, let's drop him in place. Let's turn this trailer around. So yeah, a completely bugged mod at the moment in the sense that it won't even install, and won't install for anybody. I tried again this morning, having tried and failed yesterday. It still isn't installing, and I'm still seeing people complaining that they can't get it installed. And I haven't seen a single person post to say that they have got it installed yet with any kind of proof. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But what happens with that one. But there we go. That's kind of the mod news. We had no mods for ages, and then we got hit with loads of mods all at once. So yay, mods. Okay, so our trailer is almost full here, which means we'll be making our first kind of deposit at the BGA. I think I broke away just a fraction too early there. Yeah, just got that last little bit he needed to do. We'll capture that last little bit that we need, and then we'll break off. Helps having an articulated body in this field, it really does. It means we can make these tight turns, and the Penta's wheels pivot so well that we can actually make really nice tight turns, even though it's a big tractor and a really big imposing trailer as well. So here you can see just how well those wheels turn. Look at the turn radius. Really nice there. So let's save ourselves a few dollars by firing the worker. Engine off. And let's go deposit this in the BGA. So here we are at the BGA. It's a really nice short drive from that field to get down to the plant. So it's literally, it's a shame we can't just hop the fence. We'd be there instantly. Well, here we are. We're going to obviously fill this bunker here first, because this is the one that's closest to our shredder just there. I'm going to reduce speed down to 4 miles an hour. Right, let's go at 5. I'm just going to cruise control along. Drop a nice thin layer all the way along here. And this should drop before we get to the end. There we go. So let's get alongside. Just there, need to put cruise control back up to 9 to match the speed of the forage harvester. There we go. Let's jump in. Engine started, worker hired, and get back in the 450. There we go. So let's carry on working the rest of this field. Oh, actually, one last thing to show you as well. We'll just end up stopping for a second. You can see here, now that we're cutting it, we're adding that stage 1 fertilization. Because mowing grass will, on a worked field, will add the first stage of fertilization for free, which is great. So our next cut, if we do nothing else, our next cut will have a 30% yield bonus on the yield that we have currently. Obviously we can increase that up to stage 3 if we wanted to. So at some point I may well get myself a small tractor, possibly a Valtra, maybe like a Vulture N series, and get a weeder and just fertilise this field so that we can keep getting grass off it. We'll see how that goes. Still no break in the weather yet, unfortunately, so hopefully it clears up soon and we can start thinking about harvesting. But we've still got some grass to do, but not a huge amount left now. We've done about 2/3 of the field, so it's definitely starting to run out of things to get done here until the weather clears up. There we go, that's our second load. So as before, we'll jump in, fire the worker, engine off, and now we'll take this off to the biogas plant. Oh, you can just see that the hail is slowing down and stopping. There we go. So the weather is starting to break. So it's going to start getting a little bit brighter soon. The cloud is going to start to burn off. I think we're just actually blocking him there a little bit. There we go. So yeah, the cloud should start burning off. You can see already the sun is starting to shine through. Here it comes. So we've got to wait for everything to sort of dry out now. So we're probably looking at around another sort of half an hour to an hour in-game time for those clouds to fully burn off and the crops to dry out before they will be harvestable again, which gives us enough time to get this field finished, and then we can obviously get straight onto harvesting our canola. So the sun has just ticked over as the only icon left on our weather screen, so it looks as though everything is now sort of dry enough, hopefully, for harvesting, which is good because we're on our final pass. And you can see that the width that's left, this field is perfectly sculpted just by chance. I've managed to perfectly sculpt it to fit the mower on this forage harvester. You know, that's the perfect width. Look, that's absolutely spot on. All we did was we put one border around the edge just to aid turning, and everything else has just been straight up and down passes controlled by the worker. So yeah, got really lucky with the actual way that there hasn't been a single, there's been no wasted motion in that respect. Everything has been absolutely perfect. So there we go, we are done on this field. Okay, so it's time to get our canola harvest started. So let's get the combine underway. There we go. Now I've got my auger over here. Before I actually get in the auger, there's something I want to point out. This was pointed out to me yesterday by a buddy of mine, Adam. I hadn't picked up on this whatsoever. This is how treads are supposed to be on tyres. So you have the sort of the grooves pointing forwards like this, so that as they drive into the ground, they can disperse away like that, and help keep giving you grip and stability and move things out of the way. This is how they are on the auger. They're the wrong way round. So hadn't noticed this until it was pointed out to me, and it's one of those once seen can never be unseen moments. But yeah, the tyre treads are the wrong way round on the auger. That's what they should look like. That's what they do look like. You know, completely back to front. So a little bug there from Giants that needs to be corrected. It's like the wheels have been attached at the wrong end. It's like they built the model, and this wheel here should have been the front left wheel, not the back right wheel. So they've been put on the opposite corner. These are the two right-hand wheels that should be wheel 1 and then wheel 2, and instead, you know, they're on this side and they're wheel 2 and wheel 1. So Yeah, that's one of those once seen cannot be unseen moments. So thank you very much for that, Adam. Some useful and frustrating trivia that I can now never unsee. So as always, we're going to run down the side of the field with the combine on the first pass, just so we can get an idea of exactly what the yield is going to be off this field per pass. This determines how active I need to be in tracking the combine, and whether I need to actually move it from one side of the field to the other at the end of each pass. We have a 14,000 litre capacity in this combine, and yeah, we're near the bottom of the field. We're at what, 9,000 in the auger, so it's unlikely that we're going to need to do that with this. But as we change to less profitable, higher yield crops, then it will come a time when we will have to track the combine all the way down on every single pass. Okay, there we go. So just under 12,000 litres. So we definitely would have been able to do that in our old harvester. Just let it run all the way down the field, because it would have filled up. This one and the bigger case, and I think the Rostol Mash and the larger fence and the larger Massey will all be fine by the look of it, doing canola on our newly extended field 3. Don't forget, we did add a little bit of extra length to the field by ploughing out part of the headlands. But we're okay at 11,700, so we can let him run all the way up the field on his own. We don't have to move him to the opposite side and track him. So we can now just sort of wait for him to get to the top of the field, and then we can pick him up and follow him down on the way down again. So while we're waiting for that combine to work his way up the field, it gives us a chance to just sort of have a look at the menu system and check how things are going on the farm. And we can see actually that this, because it's our third harvest, means that you can see underneath where the original field was, not the extended field, which is the blue fertilised section. The red underneath shows that the field needs to be ploughed. So that's going to be sort of a job that we're going to have to do before we can get the next set of seeding underway. We're going to have to replough this field, which means we will also have to replough field 5 as well, because if you remember, that was what we did when we first started out on episode 1, was we ploughed these two fields together. So you know what I say, together we did, field 3, then we did field 5, but you understand what I mean. We're going to have to redo that now. It's been this is our third harvest, so we are going to have to replough our fields. Looking over at field 1, this is ready to harvest. So hopefully I will be able to do this as some contract work off camera at the end of this episode, earn us a nice little bit of extra money. We are really close actually to getting this fully discounted. So as you can see, one more job is needed, and currently we are we've got the field down to 2.479, so 2.5 million effectively is how much we're going to need to buy it. We can get that down a little bit more with I think just one more job is all that's required to get that down to optimal purchase price. So let's see what else. Let's check our prices in the store. There's nothing that's looking particularly good at the moment. Not a single green price anywhere, which is a little bit worrying, but those prices will improve as the game goes on, so we'll just have to wait and keep doing some contract work to earn some money. We can become less reliant on contract work as well now that we are starting to work on silage. If we again go back, you can see there it is. Now that it's been cut, you can see the outline of our grass field up here. What I might do actually is I might plant grass on this field and this field, and then do a harvest of grass with our yeah, I think that's what we'll do, rather than actually ploughing this time out, because mowing grass also removes that need to plough. What we'll do is, if we can get back to our auger, there it is. What we'll do is we'll plant grass on our 2 fields after this is done. We'll let the grass grow in. We will try and fertilise it if we can, although that's not really essential. We just need to let the grass grow. It'll have a stage of fertilisation simply because the seeder that we'll be using, we've only got one seeder that can plant grass, and that's our Terminator. The Great Plains seeder doesn't plant grass, so that fertilises as well, so it'll already have one stage of fertilisation in it. Then when it comes to being fully grown, we can harvest the grass, we can cut the grass. That will remove the need to plough. It'll give us a ton of grass that we can throw into our BGA bunkers, which we can then ferment into silage and make some money off of. So rather than just sort of doing a plough run, we'll do that instead. We'll plant grass, we'll mow the grass to remove the need to plough, and clean those fields up for another 3 runs, and make some money long term in the process. So we're about halfway through. I've just emptied the auger for the first time. I had about 35,000 in there. Obviously we have a 53,000 litre capacity, but with this thing doing around 12,000 litres per pass, or just under 12,000 litres per pass, then it wouldn't be enough wasn't enough remaining capacity to go up and down the field and still not fill up the auger. It would fill up on this pass down here. So I just emptied just to get that out of the way. We're going to be interested to see just how much we do get off this field in total. So we've got 14,000 litres in here so far. Let's have a look at the map. We're almost halfway through the field. So we've done around about 50,000 litres, including what's in the truck already, plus what we have in the back of our auger. So we're looking at about 100,000 litres of canola just on this field alone, which means field 5 will probably net around half of that, so maybe another 50,000 or so. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. It should be a similar kind of yield to that of sunflowers, I think. Just checking in with the animals here, just to get a brief update on our sheep. We've added an extra sheep through breeding since we purchased them, so we're up to 97, and you can see we are half an hour away from getting our 98th sheep, our second bred sheep on the farm. And we are almost done making our first pallet of wool as well. So plenty of grass, plenty of water still. We can leave them alone for ages now. Just let them do their thing, breed and make wool for us. And then in a few game days' time, we will need to go back and just top up their grass, top up their water. We've already got plenty of bales up at the sheep farm. If we skip our way up there, jump out of the Juno, you can see plenty of bales here. We've got 6 stacks, so that's 24 bales of feed waiting for them already. We've got a water trailer there parked up. We literally just need to connect up to it and unload a bit more water in to top that up, and that's all. And one last thing, I did actually purchase this at the end of the previous episode. I forgot to do it while we were recording. Added in the charging point. This doesn't actually do much other than save the maintenance costs per day for this. We don't get charged a worker fee for running this, but at the end of the day we would get charged, I think $120, I think it is, in maintenance costs. Having this charging station, which is ridiculously cheap, simply means we don't have to pay any maintenance costs for the Juno itself, because it charges itself up at the end of the day at midnight. So, time to do another unload. Oops. Raise that pipe up a bit. Ooh, that's close. Just made the turn there. Getting a nice decent amount of grain here. Let's see how much we actually have in that trailer once this is done. In fact, actually, I think we're going to fill this trailer and have to start work on the next one behind it. Yeah, there we go. Trailer's full. So we have, what, 82,000, 83,000 worth of grain so far. We still have that much of the field left to go. So we're looking 1, 2, 3, 4 passes maybe? Possibly even a partial fifth. Each pass is worth, let's just say 11,500 as an average. So we're talking 45,000 or so left on the field, maybe 50,000 left on the field. So a very good yield. You know, we're going to end up with 130,000 or so off this field alone. So with the other field as well, that could net anywhere up to say 70,000. We could be looking at a 200,000 litre haul here on our canola. That's really nice. When that price comes in and we have 200,000 litres to sell, that'll be a nice big cash injection. Well, the combine's off on that last little sliver of canola that's left on this field. We're unloading into the trailer another 46,000 worth of canola here. So we're going to be close to finishing this trailer, filling this trailer as well at this rate. Okay, so we finished the harvest on field 3. You can see that the last little bit from the combine's been unloaded into the auger, into the back of the truck. We have 133,000 litres just off this field alone, so my estimates of maybe 150,000 total yield were way off. You know, we've only done one field and we've almost hit that target already. So this definitely needs to be emptied. We'll go and tip this into our silos. We don't have time left, unfortunately, in this episode to do field 5. So we will get that done next time we come back. And we will also start planting some grass on our 2 fields so that we can make some silage and also skip the need to do that ploughing stage. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob and I will catch you back on Big Bud Farm next Tuesday.